Let's not get crazy. That's what they said about ketamine, and that's
now Woody's on it. Do you know this about Woody? Woody's on the ketamine now.
Yeah, nice.
Woody's going on like fucking weekend bang trips on his new motorcycle.
And like going into a K-hole. He's just like clutching the blanket for 40 minutes at a time.
Dude, K-hole's pretty good. I've tried a couple drugs now. K-hole's gotta be my favorite.
That is a very interesting take, because it is very much a hit or miss for almost everybody that does it.
I didn't expect to hear that. Like, what would be people's negative experience?
I think that the vast majority of people who recreationally try ketamine, the only people that take ketamine regularly don't have a problem with being in a K-hole sometimes, because that's just the natural progression of that drug. The people that accidentally try ketamine or do ketamine or end up in a K-hole, stop doing ketamine. It's like being in sleep paralysis prison. Like, why? It's like, to me.
Yeah. By the way, Woody, what we mean by K-hole is like a bad experience where you're like having
when you're K'd out, and you're just like we're not talking you're feeling wiggly, or like you're incapable of functioning as a human because you're sitting there.
Maybe you want that
lost. It's like if you haven't experienced
that's kind of pretty fun.
I'm not gonna say lost, but like you're it's like, I don't know. Just in my head, I a lot of times run into people who are in the midst of their ketamine journey at a warehouse party at a club or someplace like that, and they are
it's legal
away
now,
in the
right?
corner.
They just prescribe it. I was blown away when Woody was like, "So I ordered some ketamine last week and got fucked." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Where are these people? Like, you said at a warehouse party, and that was the part that, like, here's my ketamine experience. I'm in a bed. It's a happy place. I've got my scented candles going. I've got the binaural music. It goes clickety click. You'd probably like it. And usually there's some like motivational, thought-provoking speech during the first 7 minutes. You're most lucid, sort of entering the K-hole part. And I have a weighted blanket on me. And then I just like go for the ride.
How much ketamine are you taking?
400, I think.
Are we 400 grams?
Yeah, I could look at it. It's in the.
400. Room. I mean, 400 milligrams, so 0.4 grams.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean,
is that a little bit to you, or
I don't. I'm going to be honest. The only time I've ever seen ketamine, it was not weighed in anything specific outside of what's in the bag. But like, you're using it the way that people are prescribing it in a medical situation that has a lot of positives. Mm-hmm. But just like you're doing it that way. It's like saying, like, you can take some shrooms and have a positive effect. But if you do, there is a amount of shrooms you will take where you are lost in the sauce. And that is the same with ketamine. You may not be taking enough to get there, or maybe you are and your experience is very nice. And there are some people that love it as well. I'm not trying to say that you're weird for
K-hole you describe, where you're like incapable of fun. I'm like this with my hands like crisscrossed on my chest and the weighted blanket, and I feel like I'm
like that
flying in clouds.
Shit.
And I just go with it. Like, everything is happy, and I remind myself that like shit's
the difference between
like, your marriage is good, you have no debt, everything is fine. Let's sort out like these are the thoughts that go through my head. Let's fly. And it's like, all right, now I'm on a slippery, well lubricated ride.
I said I was going to do it. But I just drug my feet. I did Google, and there's a place that does like the drips near me. But I just want to like be able to administer. I want to be at home. I don't want to go somewhere and do an IV thing. I want to be at home, like in a comfortable chair, watching like, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street or something, and get going.
No, risky.
You're joking, right?
Oh, Mandy.
Yeah. Dude, I wish I could get you the audio track I listened to. It would be boring, I think, without
thinking some Guns N' Roses.
But the opening like speech that comes to it, like about how people use their time effectively and what the meaning of life is, like, just sets the rest of the K-hole in the right direction.
That just seems a little heavier than I want to like get into on a Tuesday night.
It is a I don't know. I think just like everything, you can administer a little bit or a lot. And I think ketamine to me is a lot like, you can have a light marijuana experience, or you can do dabs, and ketamine turns to dabs very quickly. And you have to really take care, like Woody is, to set up a good environment. I also don't like the drug, so I'm not a good person, but I have a lot of friends that recreationally have
You like
or
acid?
do. Yeah, love it. It's my favorite. Love that. But like,
yeah, me
but
too.
like, yeah. So, but like, understanding that ketamine is a whole different beast. So it's, I mean, but it's also very proven to be good.
Dude, it's so difficult to describe the effects of drugs. Like you're like, oh, I like acid, but ketamine's a whole different beast. And if I'm listening, I'm like, what's it like? You know,
and
to
you
me, I'm in a happy place. I feel really like there's some joy involved. I feel like none of my thoughts are encumbered by second guessing, that they're all great ideas.
Could you enjoy this drug when you're not alone though? Because that's what I want. I want a drug that I can have fun whether I'm alone or not. And with acid, it's like I'm so giggly that like it's that laughter that feels really good when it's like inappropriate to laugh, like at a funeral or in court or something, but you've got that like giggly laugh, like that. It's that like you're already on the verge of cracking up. So that all somebody has to do is like make a silly face or like remind you of a thing, or they'll often be like a running joke when you got a bunch of guys hanging out or something, and then they'll just be like, "At least he didn't shit his pants," and then you'll just like lose your shit and like actually just start laughing so hard. That's my favorite part about acid. That
was my mushroom experience. I've told the story so many times. One of my friends brought a lousy camp chair by the campfire, and we just couldn't get over it. It was this tall. It was 8 inches tall and like 6 by 6 inches to sit on, and we just mocked that chair for being inferior to ours all night long. Everyone had a blast about it. Sober us would not have found it that funny.
No,
but like you said, it's that just such a good time. Everyone was enjoying each other's company. That was my mushroom experience. My ketamine experience is more of a solitary journey of joy and introspection in a positive way.
Okay. That sounds interesting, but not what I like. I really like something that's I love acid. That it just being so giggly, and I like seeing something. Everybody just always made like cartoons made like marijuana and like alcohol always seemed like you're gonna see pink elephants and shit. And every time I would like do one of these things, I'd be so underwhelmed until I took a whole bunch of acid and I actually saw some shit wiggle.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, finally. it's like a cartoon.
That's a thing.
Even then, it's not like a cartoon. It's just like, all right, that is there. But now it's
not underwhelm you. You will absolutely feel like waves of motion and pulsation, and like you're flying on a magic carpet.
I got a new one for you.
If it won't disappoint. Carry on.
Have you considered doing a sensory deprivation tank in conjunction?
Oh my god!
In conjunction, I'm a little scared to mix them, but I hear your.
I want to do so. I think I watched a YouTube video about the guy who invented acid, and that's what he was doing. He was taking huge doses and going into a sensory deprivation tank. I wanted to go there last time I was in out there with the Taylor, the Super Bowl party when I was a Taylor. I was like, dude, let's just take a bunch of edibles and get in there. And he was just completely against it. And so we never went. Nobody wanted to do it but me. But like, I would love to do that. They're cheap. Like it's I don't know, $50 or something like that for an hour. I'd want to be in there for at least an hour. But you just completely floating, in that salt water, completely blacked out with the earmuffs on. I'm sure you could throw some music in if you wanted to and just go. That would be wild.
A ketamine trip is about an hour long. And then after that, it's toned down a ton. And I find that to be the right length. So it's not like you want to drive after an hour. Yeah. But there's a great hour and then an hour of like, I should hold the handrail when I go down the stairs.
Yeah. Acid is definitely one where you're like, you're buckling in for the rest of tonight. And that means till morning. Like this is 12 hours that we're not going to be right. And then we're going to want to go to sleep after that. So we're all done with our day. Like, oh, you need to go somewhere? Oh, no, not anymore. You're getting everything delivered, and you're hoping nobody asks you a serious question. You might want to turn your phone off. But it's a really good time. It's a really good time.